A newly unsealed court filing argues that Donald Trump committed crimes to try and stay in office after losing the 2020 U.S. presidential election. A team of U.S. federal prosecutors says that the offenses charged in the indictment are private acts, not official ones. The prosecutors allege that Mr. Trump used multiple criminal means to try to disrupt a process in which he had no official role as president. Andrew Donaldson from OrdinaryTimes.com joined us to unpack the court filing.
What we're seeing now is a reaction to the Supreme Court decision back in July. They ruled that official acts by the president are immune, and it was a very broad ruling. What it didn't do was define what is and isn't official acts. So what Jack Smith, special prosecutor, has done is he has gone back, skinny down his indictment, and reworded it to try to say all these things that we are alleging and charging and want to pursue in court here as charges are unofficial acts. Now, this was already going to be an extremely complex case. He already had an uphill battle to start with. Now it's even more so. For example, a lot of this case is going to hinge on conversations between then President Trump and then Vice President Mike Pence. Well, obviously, trying to unpack what is official and official when those two men are talking, even when they're running for reelection, and there's the sitting president and vice president, is going to be something that's very, very fraught. The other problem that's going on with this right now is the timing of it. It comes out right before the election. Now, what does that have to do with everything else is because if Trump wins, this is a DOJ prosecution, and the new attorney general that Trump will appoint will make this all go away. So they're somewhat under the gun trying to get this case in. So it does come off a little bit like Jack Smith is laying out his case on paper. Again, this is the prosecutor's argument. Trump would have a right to refute some of this in court if it gets there, but it may not get there if he wins the election. And it's also a very complicated case. And arguing this official and unofficial acts is going to be an uphill legal climb for Jack Smith. Because again, we're 4 years past this. This has been out there litigated for a while. The ins and outs that are in this document, it puts a lot of color and context and some detail into things, but a lot of the things that are in there we already pretty much knew, or more specifically, if you're a voter, you knew if you cared to know. If you cared to look into it, you would know most of this information. This would just be more detailed to it. So with the polling being close and Trump's base pretty much being where it's been all throughout this election, I don't think this is going to have a massive impact because, again, this story's been out there for a long time. People have already made up their mind on the post-election stuff in 2020. Trump keeps talking about it, but I don't know if anybody's really going to be changing their mind about it just based off of this.